Welcome back to the Fallout New Vegas Perfect playthrough. Off screen, I pickpocketed a bunch of dog tags and for the NCR, and made sure that that whole neutral the block didn't affect my reputation gains, which didn't, which is good. So now we're going to proceed on to the fort. I'm going to try and keep this episode moving because we got tons and tons of content.
Awe, are you ready to head upriver?
Who are you?
I am Cursar Lucullus, and my orders are to escort you to the Legion's camp at Fortification Hill. Are you ready to go?
What'll happen at the fort?
You'll be meeting face to face with the mighty Caesar himself, founder of the Legion, conqueror of 86 tribes. To my knowledge, this is the first time Caesar has ever summoned one of the dissolute to see him. Not even tribal chieftains receive this honor.
Who are you calling dissolute?
All who are not Legion are dissolute. They live in squalor, unrestrained by morality, lacking moderation, temper, and self-control. Their very existence is a blight on the common good. Even worse are the profligates, the subtype of dissolute one finds this side of the river. They hold themselves to be civilized, when in fact they are corrupt and self-interested. The truth will be made clear to them soon enough.
And what have I done to earn this honor?
You'd know better than I would, but you must be remarkable for Caesar to take such an interest. Wale, as you wish. My orders are to wait here until you're ready to make the trip.
We're gonna take a mentat real quick, just cause they confiscate them all.
Awe, are you ready to travel to the fort?
I'm ready to travel with you.
The trip will take a few hours. Take your place on the boat. By order of Caesar, all visitors must disarm and relinquish all banned items. This order also extends to the platinum chip you carry. For now.
What is considered a banned item?
Alcohol and all chems, including stims and other addictive items.
I have to bring them along. Congenital heart defect.
I know not why Caesar would wish to speak with such a physically inferior whelp, but I will allow this one exception. You may bear Caesar's mark, but do not attempt to share any of your medicine with anyone in the fort.
And why can't I just continue on?
Caesar strictly forbids the use of chems and alcohol. By his order, all visitors must also relinquish their arms upon entry. If you come in peace, then there is no reason to not disarm. You will not be harmed unless Caesar wills it.
Sure. I agree to disarm.
Your belongings will be returned to you when you leave.
We still got our double barrel though. We actually should have quite a few weapons with us. And then let's talk to Dale Barton.
So you're the visitor I've heard some of the legionaries talking about. If you're in the mood to trade, just say the word.
Sure.
Have a look.
And he has a bunch of weapon mods. Can't sell you weapons though. And caravan cards. Oh yeah, we love caravan cards. Wow, this is such a glut of fantastic caravan cards. That was a good
Another satisfied
visit.
customer.
And he doesn't have that great of a repair skill. And oh yeah. And have you ever met Caesar?
I haven't had the pleasure. I have crossed paths with Legate Lanius, his second in command, however. It was unpleasant.
Tell me about the legate.
He's the best the Legion has to offer. Or so the legionaries say. Brute of a man. Wears a fancy metal mask in a battle. He killed one of my pack Brahmins simply because it was in his way. I knew better than to complain about it, though.
And I'd like to know more about you.
Shoot.
Are you part of the Legion?
No, sir. I'm an independent trader from Arizona.
Is it dangerous to trade with the Legion?
Not at all. They're my best customers. As long as you don't try to sell them chems or alcohol, they treat you fair. Hell, I don't even need to travel with guards most of the time in Legion territory. All the bandits are dead or run off.
Do you ever trade with the NCR?
Between having to hire protection and getting slapped with taxes, it's more profitable to stick to Arizona and New Mexico. But I do cross the river from time to time when an opportunity comes along.
And, of course, do you want to play a hand of Caravan?
I'm gonna roll over you.
And it's not great for me that in our struggling for time episode we're going to play some Caravan. But hey, I'll beat him, and I'll beat him quick. And you can see his comments on trade sort of echoed the sentiments that Cass had way earlier on in the playthrough, if you all remember that. Because I hate when I'm on a train of thought and I have to like focus on Caravan. Bastard. No, not a king. That's. Man, I wanted to. I had such a great train of thought going. Okay, here's what it is. Basically, he was talking about how the roads are safer. Now that I figured out this Caravan.
Wait a second. What's going on? Am I playing Virgil to your Dante? I'd like to assume that we're tiptoeing into the mouth of hell out of academic curiosity, but I'm not so open-minded that I've lost my brains.
Relax. Let's just listen to him, figure out what he's up to, and get out of here, Arcade.
Short of canceling our imminent travel plans, that's the best thing you could have said. Just be careful. If we travel at Caesar's pleasure, he may not let us out as easily as he lets us in.
You're not wrong about that, but he actually doesn't really take advantage of that fact. Yeah, you gotta do that specific option, by the way, for Arcade to get 2 history points. He likes that answer. Yeah, there was Daryl Barton. We got the guy training the kids, and the kids run around.
I'll wait.
Looking over what could have been. Before it could have been like a city. As you see all those tents down there.
I can't wait until they let me fight.
I'm harsh on the children, but they'll be excellent legionaries. I'm quite proud of them.
There you go, legionary instructor. And now we enter the fort itself. And it almost crashed there, but it didn't. And that's the important thing. And first, let's head over here. Talk to Sierra.
If you're injured, I might have healing powder to spare.
She's one of the slaves. I have some questions about you.
What do you want to know?
Where are you from?
A small town in New Mexico. The Legion burned it a few years back. That's how I ended up here.
How long have you been a slave?
3 years and counting. If I could just get across the river, I'd be free. Not that I'd try it. I've seen what happens when you get caught.
How are women treated around here?
We're property. If you're too young or too old, the men usually leave you alone. Usually.
And you're a doctor?
I never finished my training. The Legion saw to that when they overran my town. I do know basic first aid, but I've had to rely on tribal remedies to treat illnesses and injuries. Healing powders and all that. I'm always running low on Xanderroot. Plenty of Brock flowers, though.
You're using 1 Brock flower per Xanderroot, right?
Oh, I've been using 2 roots per flower. Thanks to you, I'll be able to create twice as much healing powder per day.
There you go. And do you have anything for sale?
For sale? I'm a slave, not a merchant. I could give you some supplies every day, though. You are, after all, a friend of the Legion.
And what do you know about Legate Lanius?
The legate is not a man to be crossed, especially if you're a woman. That's all I'll talk about it.
Interesting. And we already asked you about that. Yeah. Alright, and there's Siri. I believe you get a little Legion fame for doing that. And now let's talk to Otho. But first, I'm going to teach you all how to win in the arena if you are a guns build such as me. Which is, first we're going to pop a save for safety. Whenever I'm leaving stuff, I like to do a little safety save. And then we're going to drop our sawed-off shotgun and drop our hand-loaded ammo right here. And then we'll talk to Otho.
You here to fight in the arena? Then you're talking to the right man.
Tell me more about the arena.
Such as?
What are the rules?
Light armor and machetes only. The challenger, the one who asks to enter the arena, may be pitted against one or more opponents. All matches continue until one side is dead. No exceptions.
What do you do?
I set up the fights, keep track of prisoners available, and make sure the arena's cleaned up.
Who does the fighting?
Most of the time, it's some young legionary trying to make a name for himself, hoping to get noticed by Caesar or the Praetorians. We pit slaves or prisoners against each other once in a while, but it's not much of a show. They're usually too reluctant to kill each other.
And, what can you tell me about the legate?
A great warrior. When he was but a recruit, I watched him kill 10 men in the arena with his bare hands. He doesn't feel pain, and he never ever shows mercy. If all legionaries were like him, the Legion would be invincible.
Getting a lot of good info on the legate. I'd like to fight in the arena.
That can be arranged. You will be facing off against a couple of disobedient slaves. Not much of a challenge, but it might be entertaining to watch.
I'm ready.
Remember the rules. Light armor
yeah, I'll
and
remember.
machetes only. And, of course, to the death.
Got it.
Good luck.
Then we just look down here, grab our weapon ammo, and then bam! Bam! Oh, what a victory! What a victory for me. Yeah, it did not go well for these two guys. And then we just drop them all again.
Awe, true to Caesar. As expected, it wasn't much of a fight, but what can you expect from slaves?
And the top left of our screen is going to be busy for this whole episode. I'd like to fight again.
There's a captured NCR trooper available, Sergeant Andrews. He's already been challenged once and survived, so he should be a worthy opponent.
Let's go.
Careful in there. He's tougher than he looks.
And once again, we just pick up... We wait a few seconds for it to register that I picked up the shotgun.
Damn!
And we missed that shot. And he blows up all the same. And we do the same thing yet again. I wonder if they take my implant GRX. No, they don't. What fools? There you go. Shotgun dropped.
A good fight. Some NCR troopers can be competent fighters.
If you recall our Ranger Station Charlie episode, which I believe was the bad episode. I said skip that episode. You shouldn't have skipped it. They mentioned that a woman was taken. So keep that in mind as we fight in the arena this time.
I have a dangerous one for you. An NCR ranger by the name of Stella. We got lucky since we rarely capture rangers alive. Even though she's a woman, she's killed every man who's faced her in the arena. Even one of the elite Centurions. With her bare hands.
Even a Centurion. Well, I'm ready.
Watch out for her. She's one of the deadliest fighters I've ever seen.
And she sure is deadly, but we take the weapon. For some reason, it takes a little bit to register. And we send her flying. Yeah, I had a bit of an advantage there. But yeah, she can be a tough fighter. If you play it fair. Now we'll talk.
Unbelievable. You stood against a ranger in single combat and survived.
I'd like to fight in the arena some more.
Sorry, but there's nobody left who'd even be a challenge for you.
And awesome. Alright, see ya.
Go.
And unfortunately, if you play a female character, you can't fight in the arena. And even though you said that, that's not our... that's not the last we'll see of the arena, as we talk to Anthony.
The mechanical dog you have with you. Where did you get it?
Rex? Oh, why do you want to know?
I ask because Caesar once had a similar pet, but it was lost during a battle.
Oh, I guess, that... whatever. What can you tell me about Legate Lanius?
It took years for Caesar to conquer Lanius' tribe, and Caesar showed mercy to the survivors, allowing them to join the Legion. Had the positions been reversed, Caesar would be dead. Lanius is called the Monster of the East, because he never, ever shows mercy.
And I had some questions.
Yeah?
Where does the Legion get its dogs?
We breed them mostly, but sometimes we get some good ones from Denver. That whole city is overrun with them.
You train these dogs?
Been doing it since I was a boy. The mongrels know to listen up when I start talking to them.
And, tell me about yourself.
I've been around dogs all my life. They're my life. Always were. All the way back when I was a tribal. One of the hangdogs outside Denver. Dogs roamed that city. Our tribe made peace with them. Thought they were our spirit animals. Helped us hunt. Provided for us in some lean times. Then the Legion came. Good thing, too. Stronger now. Don't need those beliefs anymore.
See, the Legion has brainwashed them a bit. So how'd you end up joining?
When the Legion showed up, we fought. Most tribes did. Hangdogs hung out longer than most. Broke us by throwing our dogs on the fire. So we gave up. Our elders couldn't bear the idea of our spirit animals burning in the afterlife. Caesar was impressed enough to conscript us. Use our skills with dogs to join the Legion as hound masters.
That one's always a little sad. Also some nice Denver lore, huh? And a nice dog.
Lupa. Yes, she's the mother of a lot of our best dogs. She's getting old, but she's still a tough old bitch. Aren't you, girl? Yeah.
I could use Lupa's brain to fix my cyber dog.
Cyberdog? Like the ones I've seen up in Denver? I know what you're talking about. And it would make Lupa immortal, in a way.
They have cyber dogs in Denver, even though you've told us about them?
Not too common, but you still see them around.
And so is that a yes?
You give Lupa a worthy death in the arena, and her brain is yours. Don't let your guard down just because she's old, though. Oh, and standard arena
Yeah, I don't
rules
think the
still
rules
apply.
really apply.
You don't get to wear armor, and you get only a machete for a weapon.
I'm ready.
All right. You've been a good dog, Lupa. Die well, girl.
And, even though we actually probably don't even need the shotgun to win, I'm just committed to cheating. And there we go, we detached the head. I got Lupa's brain. And, that's not the last, arena fight. We got one more. Let's see if he has anything to say.
What?
Nope. Well, he will in a bit. As we have one more minor, I guess I would say, quest to do. Task. So far, we killed a lot of. I guess we've not killed a lot of Legion. We killed slaves in NCR. But you go into the slave pen, and here's Melody.
I can't talk to you. It's not allowed.
I'm a friend. It's okay for you to talk to friends, right?
I guess that's okay. If you're a friend, can you help me?
What'd you need help with?
Anthony took Sergeant Teddy away and gave him to the sticky dogs. I want him back.
They let you have toys here?
I kept him secret, but I think somebody told on me.
I'll see what I can do.
Thanks.
And what do you do here, by the way?
I help take care of the Brahmin. I sometimes bring water and food to people. That's it. Okay, bye.
And we can talk to Anthony for the last fight in the arena. And we're gonna cheat once again in the arena.
What?
I'm here for Melody's bear.
This stupid girl should know by now that even the rags on her back are a privilege. Anyway, my mongrels like their new toy. Tell you what, you square off with 4 of my best dogs. No armor and no weapons except a machete. You survive, and I let you have the bear.
And I guess we can do a reputation. But you won't mind if I kill him?
I think they'll probably end up killing you. I trained them myself. But if you do win somehow, the mongrels will at least get honorable deaths.
Let's do this.
Good luck. You'll need it.
I prefer to have fun cheating in the arena as opposed to passing a reputation check. Did I knock one down instead of kill it? Yeah. There we go. And that's all the arena fights you can do. Having some fun in the arena. So you guys can follow me once again.
Damn it! I thought they had you.
You call that a challenge? Ha!
Take the bear. I can't believe I let some of my best dogs get killed over this stupid thing. Your stuff is in the crate next to the arena entrance. Leave it there too long, and we'll dump it in the lake.
I like how he gets pissed off. This is the perfect playthrough, so we're gonna piss him off. Even though we could just reputation check him. And actually, I think we want to hold on to Mobius's scrubs for now, because Arcade's gonna hit us with a fairly high intelligence check. after we talk to Caesar.
Hi.
I got Sergeant Teddy. He's a little chewed up.
That's okay. I'll fix him. Can I have him now?
Here you go.
Thank you.
And that's the right thing to do. You can tear him in half for Legion rep, but I pickpocketed so many dog tags off screen that we'll have plenty of Legion rep. And I completed the pickpocket challenge off screen, by the way. So if you wonder why that wouldn't show up, that's why. But before we go into Caesar's tent, we got to make our followers wait here. And you'll notice he's voiced by Commander Rawls from The Wire.
You must enter Caesar's tent alone.
So here he is, Caesar.
You're the courier who caused so much trouble for my legion, and yet you dare come before me. All the bribes I sent to the Omertas ended up buying me nothing. Years of meticulous scheming to place a mole at Camp McCarran. Wasted. So tell me this, because I really want to know. I am feared, with good reason. But you, of all people, dare to come here and stand before me, the mighty Caesar. What were you thinking?
Death to tyrants. I was thinking I need to get that platinum chip back.
We'll talk about the platinum chip when the time comes. In the meantime, you do know why I wanted to meet you, right? A man nearly kills you, so you track him across the breadth of the Mojave. You arrive on the strip and waltz into the Lucky 38 like someone left you a key under the doormat. You assassinate the head of the chairman in his own casino and get away with it. Then something happens to Mr. House's robot, some kind of military upgrade. When you set your mind to something, you get results. I like that. The question is, are you ready to get started?
How do you know so much about me?
I have eyes and ears everywhere. It behooves me not to invade the West blind and deaf. It hasn't been hard to track your progress. It's not as though you've been keeping a low profile. The time is fast approaching when my legion will assault the Great Dam and invade the West. Before that happens, I want Mr. House knocked out of the game. A quick 1-2 punch, with you doing the punching.
What do I have to do?
Down the hill, at the west edge of camp, is an old building. It was here when the fort was taken in 2277. Inside the building is a hatch. And inside that hatch are 2 steel doors that bear the sigil of the Lucky 38 casino. Now that same sigil is on the platinum chip you were carrying. Isn't that interesting? Even more interesting, there's a slot about the same size as the chip on the console that opens the hatch. So you know what I think? I think the platinum chip opens those doors. Doors that can't be pried open, or drilled open, or blasted open. Because all that, I tried.
And once I'm inside?
I want you to destroy whatever you find in there. And then I want you to come back here and tell me about it. So go to the building and take this fucking platinum chip with you. My legionaries will meet you there, with your weapons and equipment. Goodbye.
You have anything else to say?
We'll talk again when you've destroyed whatever is down in that bunker. Not before.
And there's Caesar's task. An important thing is to remember to take this Legion slave ledger. You need that for the Great Khan's quest. And now let's talk to Vulpes Incolta.
I suspect you'll be a valuable asset to the Legion, assuming you're really on our side, of course.
I'm very obviously not. What can you tell me about the legate?
To call Linnaeus ferocious would be an understatement. In battle, he seizes the enemy in his jaws and will not let go. He thinks nothing of suffering losses, so long as the enemy suffers more. Though unsubtle, he is not dim. He detects traps and sets his own. Be glad you will not have to face his judgment. If you are true to Caesar.
And was there something you needed me to do?
There's a gambler, Martina Grosbeck, who has a knack for learning other people's secrets and passing that information along for a price. The Omertas, who run Gomorrah, have become suspicious of Martina's frequent visits to their casino. Soon they'll pay her a visit of their own.
Why can't you take care of this yourself?
I prefer to handle these matters through intermediaries, such as yourself.
What's in it for me?
Besides the gratitude of the Legion? Don't worry. You'll be paid in coin or caps.
Alright, I'll check up on her for you.
Good. Martina frequents the Vault 21 gift shop on the Strip. Hurry along, and she still may be in one piece by the time you get there.
And now let's talk to Lucius.
It is a great honor for anyone outside the Legion to get an audience with Caesar.
Is there anything you need me to do?
We recently obtained an artillery weapon, but we don't have the part or the skill to fix it.
Where did you get the gun anyway?
The trader Dale Barton salvaged it from a military base in Arizona. Yuma, I believe.
And this is a stupid question. Artillery won Napoleon Europe, but what do you need artillery for?
The best marksmen of the NCR are usually at the rear of any battle. The gun will allow us to strike at them.
Well, I'll see what I can do.
The tribe calling themselves the Boomers is obsessed with such weapons, I've been told. You can probably find a spare firing mechanism there.
And before we talk further with him, you'll notice we have 40 unarmed. Well, a quick boxing times will get us up to 50.
Yes.
Which is the only important unarmed check to complete, in my opinion. I've noticed that you don't carry a gun.
It's a tradition in the Praetorians to specialize in unarmed combat, because weapons can break or jam when needed most. However, our unarmed techniques favor offense over defense. We can charge the enemy and flatten him with our first strike before he can react.
Can you teach me the Praetorian unarmed technique?
Of course. This will take some time, and I'm not a forgiving teacher.
And there you go. We learned the
Yes.
Legion Assault, which is a very good technique. Is there anything you can tell me about the Legate?
He's the best warrior in the Legion. A full legionary by the time he was 12. He's never lost a battle. Had the Legate been in command during the Battle of Hoover Dam, the Legion would have won. I have no doubt about that.
Are you the Legion second in command?
No. Legate Lanius is Caesar's second. The Legate replaced the Burned Man after the Legion's defeat at the dam several years ago.
Tell me about the Burned Man.
The Burned Man was Caesar's advisor and general when the Legion was originally formed. The Burned Man led us to a disastrous defeat at the dam. On Caesar's orders, the Burned Man was covered in pitch by the Praetorian Guard, lit on fire, and cast into the Grand Canyon. Caesar has forbidden us from ever speaking his true name again. And so we simply refer to him as the Burned Man.
I had some general questions for you.
I'll answer if I can.
How'd you end up joining the Legion?
When I was a boy, the Legion conquered my tribe. I was chosen for training as a legionary. I fought in many battles for the Legion. Eventually, Caesar chose me to lead his Praetorian Guard. It was a great honor.
What happened to the rest of your tribe?
The girls and women were enslaved, and many of the men and boys were also chosen to become legionaries. The rest were killed.
You don't hate the Legion for what it did to your tribe?
We were savages. The Legion raised us up, made us better than what we were.
think that was it. Oh, here we go. What do you think about the NCR?
The NCR Rangers are the biggest threat. Without them, the NCR is nothing.
I've noticed legionaries prefer using machetes as weapons.
Caesar has taught us that over-reliance on firearms can only weaken us in the long run. It's why we train heavily with our blades and our fists. Unlike an NCR trooper, a legionary is always ready to fight, regardless of the circumstance he finds himself in.
How did the NCR defeat the Legion at Hoover Dam before?
We had the numbers, but not the tactics. I know. I was there at Boulder City when we were defeated. We relied too much on veteran legionaries for direction and leadership, and the Rangers exploited our weakness by killing our best from afar.
And there are a lot of tents here. That's a silly question.
And just about every one of them is occupied. Not all at the same time, usually. Groups of legionaries come and go all the time. This is also only one camp of many. You might have noticed the other camps down by the river.
And that's all of Lucius's dialogue. And we'll come out here and see what Arcade has to say.
What a load of Brahmin shit. Can you believe that guy?
Get a load of this guy. But Arcade, I don't think either of us can fully understand what he and the tribes have gone through.
A fair point. But from the perspective of someone west of the Colorado, the man is clearly out of his mind. Maybe he didn't intend for things to wind up this way. But that doesn't mean he needs to perpetuate this bizarre anachronistic myth. And it doesn't mean that we should sit by and nod our heads at every absurd, faux Roman casus belli he can dream up. He's a tyrant, the bad kind, and there's no way we're letting him take Hoover Dam.
I agree. Alright, but now, let's see if I even have the quest available. Oh my god, yep, okay. Now we'll head to, House's bunker, and that's pretty much everything to do in the fort, apart from, those quests we were given. And of course, Caesar's quests, though we won't really be progressing through his, quest line in the NCR playthrough.
None may enter without Caesar's permission.
Well, I got permission.
Caesar has permitted your weapons to be returned to you while you serve him.
It's about time. Hand him over.
Caesar has put a lot of trust in you. Be worth it.
And the weapon we're going to go for is that gun to continue our progression towards the Gunrunner Arsenal challenges. And here is the console. And we'll insert the platinum chip. And here it is, the sigil of the Lucky 38. And it's Mr. House again.
I see you reached your destination safely. Shall we get to work?
Why did you send me here?
As you know, the Platinum chip upgrades my Securitron's operating software. Well, there's an army of them here. The Securitrons policing the strip are a fraction of the total number manufactured. The rest I stored here. I need you to manually upload the data from the chip to the facility's primary computer. There's a terminal at the other end of this facility. There's a complication. While I can broadcast to this screen, I can't control any of the facility's systems. That means I can't deactivate its security bots, most of which appear to be active according to the status board I'm looking at.
And what was that you said about security systems?
The same equipment failure that prevents me from remotely operating this facility seems to have activated its security robots and turrets. There's a security room near the base of the stairs. Perhaps you can deactivate them yourself.
And what will you do with your Securitrons?
My army will do what an army does best. Defend territory from invaders and maintain order.
And I'll upload the data, as you ask.
Good. I won't hold you up any longer.
And there's Mr. House. And you can even see the little status terminal. Should tell you. But in here we can deactivate the stuff ourselves. And we're actually going to keep the projectrons up so we can complete that challenge. Now let's see if I can do this quickly. Under the time pressure, the immense time pressure. Oh, I think we will be able to do this quickly because I thought there'd be a lot more guesses on that right side. And we'll drop the turrets, but we're because those are annoying. The turrets. Oh, and some grenade boxes. Pulse grenade, that's pretty appropriate for the situation. Oh, and a stealth grenade, wow. And the sentry bots are in here. Sentry bots only come out if you choose to. Oh, and we're getting achievements. If you choose to destroy the bunker.
Please take cover until the day.
And then I always liked this reveal, where you have the console, you install the upgrade software, and look all switch to the silver guide with the star. It is a good one. And apparently, the startup of these robots causes enough of a commotion for Caesar to believe that you have destroyed what is down here. And also to never check. He's so confident that he doesn't even check. Well, I guess he lets you leave with the platinum ship. Let's see what Mr. House has to say.
Your work here is done. Return to the Lucky 38 so we can discuss next steps. You have a very bright future ahead of you. Thanks to your actions today, so does the rest of mankind.
That's Mr. House. I'm always upset when he has to die in my NCR playthroughs, because I do like Mr. House.
Our way, true to kind.
You've carried out Caesar's will, but I must confiscate your equipment again.
Sure, here you go.
You're free to leave.
And we're doing pretty good. So now we have plenty of time in the episode for a nice long conversation with Caesar. Some great voice acting from Rawls. Who doesn't love Rawls? It made him so much more likable in The Wire, because he's kind of an asshole in The Wire, you know, his character. But then I like him because it's Caesar.
I felt the ground shake a while ago. I'll take that as a sign you've got the job done. Let's press on, shall we? As I was telling you before, I want Mr. House out of the picture. You have an interest in his death, too. If he knows that you destroyed his gadgets beneath the fort, he will strike back. You know where to find him. How he dies, I leave up to you.
And I have some questions to ask.
What did you want to know?
Are your bodyguards special in any way?
My Praetorians embody the martial ideals of my legion. Each one of them has done enough conquering and killing to deserve the rank of Centurion. Instead, I invited them to join my guard. So the invitee chooses whichever current guard he thinks is weakest and challenges him. The fight is to the death. It keeps them from getting complacent.
How long has Lucius been the head of your Praetorians?
Lucius has been the head of my guard for 5 years now. He was a subordinate guard for 8 before that. No invitee has dared to challenge him yet. Maybe it's an issue of respect. He is getting on in years.
And tell me about Vulpes Inculta.
Vulpes is the best of my frumentari, a remarkable individual from an unremarkable tribe south of the Utah. He was brought into the Legion as a boy, survived training, fought well enough as a legionary to be promoted to the rank of Decanus. Then in battle against an unimportant tribe, he broke ranks and led his contubernium through a hole in their defenses to capture its chieftain. Well, his Centurion wanted him crucified for disobedience, so I made him a frumentari.
What do the Frumentari do?
Whatever I require. Infiltration, assassination, dramatic atrocities to break the spirit of the enemy, etc. They're mentally flexible. They operate behind enemy lines for extended periods, imitating the enemy's customs without becoming sullied. In all these things, Vulpes is a master.
I've heard rumors of your legate, Lennius. What's his story?
Lennius is the greatest of my battlefield commanders. Some might call him a great man, but I'm not sure he qualifies. Once, he was the greatest warrior of the Hydebarks, a tribe of the Arizona. Maniacal in battle. Sometimes he'd ambush Legion patrols by himself. When after several months we found and surrounded the Hydebarks camp, their chieftain raised a banner of surrender. The warrior, who was not yet Lennius, went insane with rage. He struck down his chieftain and attacked his own tribe.
What happened when Lennius attacked his own tribe?
He killed 15 before they brought him down. He didn't die, obviously. I had him tended to. He was maimed, most of his face torn off.
It was most of face, not most of his face.
Consciousness. When he did, I went to his bedside and showed him the helmet I'd had forged to cover his face. I said he could have it if he'd fight for me. He accepted, on condition that he be allowed to kill the surviving males of his tribe. I said, make it the adult males, and you have a deal.
Sounds more like a savage than a general.
Lennius is savage. Savagely loyal, too, but only to me. He has no love for my legion. But this has its uses. He has no attachment to his men, no compunction about battlefield losses. All he cares about is destroying the enemy. When another legatus or a centurion fails to achieve results, I send Lennius to make things right. His first step is to beat the failed commander to death in front of his assembled troops. Then he orders the ritual of decimatio.
What is decimatio? God damn it. What is a decimatio?
It means decimation. But in ancient Rome, the word had a very specific meaning. A punishment for cowardice. The legionaries are lined up in ranks. Every 10th man steps forward and is beaten to death by his brothers. It instills a certain robust obedience.
Lennius will lead the assault on Hoover Dam?
Yes. This time my legionaries will be more frightened of the commander behind them than the enemy before them. There will be no failure this time, no retreat, no years of gathering slaves and resources for another assault. With Lennius to drive the legion forward, the dam will be taken. It will be our bridgehead across the Colorado.
And something you might have noticed from hearing all the stories about Lennius is they don't all quite coalesce together into a single picture. There are some slight contradictions, and this could be blamed on rumors and things of that nature, but some suggest that Lennius is a title in and of itself, and that the mask hides various people's different identities. An interesting fan theory. So why did the Legion lose the first battle?
It's not going to happen again. That's all I have to say about it.
I've heard the commander of the first battle called the Burned Man.
And I've heard it's a bad idea to tempt the wrath of Caesar. Change the subject.
Fair enough. What do you think of the NCR?
Do you want my opinion as a former citizen or future conqueror? Actually, my opinion's the same either way. As a young man, I was taught to venerate President Tandy of Shady Sands, the founding mother of the new California Republic. Did you know her presidency lasted 52 years? And that her father, Aradesh, was the Republic's first president? Does that sound like a democracy to you? Or a hereditary dictatorship?
President Tandy was voted into office each time.
Because the council didn't dare oppose her. She was too popular. She had the people's love. So things ran smoothly, more or less. And as soon as she was gone, as soon as there really could be democracy, what happened then? Ever since losing its queen, the NCR has been weaker, more diffuse. Democracy has been its weakness, not its strength.
How is the NCR weak?
Greed runs rampant. The government is corrupt, accepting bribes from Brahmin barons and landowners to the detriment of citizens. The NCR is a loose conglomerate of individuals looking out for themselves. It's lost virtue. No one cares about the collective, the greater good. It's not built to last. I'm just hastening the inevitable.
Surely the NCR is a powerful foe.
Of course. The most powerful my legion has faced. Also the first to which I am ideologically opposed. Until now, every tribe I've conquered has been so backwards and stunted, enslavement has been a gift bestowed upon them. My conquest of the Mojave will be a glorious triumph, marking the transition of the Legion from a basically nomadic tribe to a genuine empire. Just as my namesake campaigned in Gaul before he crossed the Rubicon, so have I campaigned and will cross the Colorado.
I liked that little analogy of the Rubicon and the Colorado. What do you know about Mr. House?
I know he's a coward, hiding behind an army of robots ensconced in that tower of his like a wizard in one of those Grognak comic books. Some say he's a man, others a machine. I don't care. He's in the way.
What role will regional powers play in the conflict?
I've analyzed the region's tribe to determine how they might be useful. I may tell you more at a later time, if it suits me.
How did you rise to power?
Ironically, I was born a profligate myself, a citizen of the NCR. My family lived not far from the Great Boneyard. After raiders killed my father, my mother sought the followers' protection. I was 2 years old. She found work at their library, cooking and cleaning. I learned how to read, and soon I was taking courses, free of charge.
You were a follower of the apocalypse?
Oh yes, raised in that tradition. And the teaching stuck. I was taught it was my responsibility to bring the torch of knowledge to the waste. I may have taken the torch part more literally than they intended.
Caesar is pretty funny. What changed you from a follower to dictator?
When I was 20, the followers sent me east to Grand Canyon. It was my first expedition. Just me and a physician named Calhoun. As an anthropologist and linguist, my assignment was to learn the dialects of the Grand Canyon tribes. What a fucking waste of time.
Why would learning dialects be a waste of time?
If you think it's worthwhile to make smart people learn how to talk like backward savages, you're a follower of the apocalypse, or an idiot. Anyway, we met up with a Mormon missionary who already knew a bunch of dialects, Joshua Graham. He was supposed to teach me, but before that went too far, the Blackfoot tribe captured us to hold us for ransom. They were a backward bunch, but the real problem was they didn't know how to fight.
What was wrong with the Blackfoot?
The Blackfoot were at war with 7 other tribes, each just as pissant as they were. But outnumbered like that, they weren't going to last long. It's one thing to be taken hostage, another to be lashed to a sinking ship. So over Calhoun's objections, I decided to take certain steps.
What steps did you take?
I taught them how to use the guns they already had, how to strip and clean them, how to breathe when pulling a trigger, how to reload ammunition. They looked at me like I was some kind of a sorcerer. So I taught them how to make explosives and started drilling them on small unit tactics. If there's anything I learned as a follower of the apocalypse, it's that there's a lot of good information in old books.
What happened after you trained the Blackfoot?
Divide et impera, divide and conquer. I led the Blackfoot against the Ridgers, their weakest enemy. When they refused to surrender, I ordered every man, woman, and child killed. When next we surrounded the Kaibabs, and they likewise refused, I took one of their envoys to the Ridgers' village and showed him the corpse piles. This was new for the tribes, you see. They played at war, raiding each other, a little rape and pillage here, a little ransoming there. I showed them total warfare. Like I said, there's a lot you can learn from old books.
What happened to the tribes?
Kaibabs joined me, and the Fredonians after that. All the pissant tribes with names that should be forgotten. I knew from the start I'd need to eradicate this plague of tribal identities, replacing them with a monolithic culture, a uniform identity. So that's what I did once my confederation of tribes was large enough. I crowned myself Caesar and created a single great tribe, my legion. I sent Calhoun, the follower captured with me, back west with a message that I should not be interfered with. Joshua Graham, the Mormon interpreter, stayed with me and served as my first legatus.
Interesting how he mentions Joshua multiple times. And since forming the Legion, all you've done is conquer other tribes.
That's right. Decades of warfare, absorbing lesser tribes, gathering power, forging the dross into a vast, razor-sharp scythe. My Legion's expansion has never ceased. Much of the Utah and Colorado and all of Arizona and New Mexico are mine. We have cities of our own, but nothing compared to Vegas. Finally, my Legion will have its Rome.
And we hear this story from Joshua's perspective as well. Why is Caesar's Legion so strange?
I used Imperial Rome as the model for my Legion precisely because it was so foreign, so alien. I'd seen what had become of the NCR's attempts to emulate the culture of pre-war America, the infighting, the corruption. Rome was a highly militarized autocracy that effectively integrated the foreign cultures it conquered. It dedicated its citizens to something higher than themselves, to the idea of Rome itself. In Rome, I found a template for a society equal to the challenges of the post-apocalyptic world, a society that could and would survive, a society that could prevent mankind from fracturing and destroying itself in this new world by establishing a new Pax Romana.
What does Pax Romana mean?
It means a nationalist, imperialist, totalitarian, homogenous culture that obliterates the identity of every group it conquers. Long-term stability at all costs. The individual has no value beyond his utility to the state, whether as an instrument of war or production.
So you'll destroy the NCR because you hate its inefficiencies?
No. I'll destroy it because it's inevitable that it be destroyed. It's Hegelian dialectics, not personal animosity.
Hegelian dialectics? What are those?
How do I put this basically enough? It's a philosophical theory, the kind you might encounter if you took time to read some books. The fundamental premise is to envision history as a sequence of dialectical conflicts. Each dialectic begins with a proposition, a thesis, which inherently contains or creates its opposite, an antithesis. Thesis and antithesis. The conflict is inevitable, but the resolution of the conflict yields something new, a synthesis, eliminating the flaws in each, leaving behind common elements and ideas.
So what's dialectic about you and the NCR?
The bombs wiped the slate clean. Human civilization descended to a level of ignorance that effectively set our cultural progress back to zero. The NCR has all the problems of the ancient Roman Republic: extreme bureaucracy, corruption, extensive senatorial infighting. Just as with the ancient Republic, it is natural that a military force should conquer and transform the NCR into a military dictatorship. Thesis and antithesis. The Colorado River is my Rubicon. The NCR Council will be eradicated, but the new synthesis will change the Legion as well, from a basically nomadic army to a standing military force that protects its citizens and the power of its dictator.
And what is that machine in your tent?
It's called an autodoc. As the name suggests, it's an automated physician, more or less. You can treat broken bones, cuts, punctures, scrapes. Sometimes I bestow its use upon someone I favor. Makes for a powerful gift in a culture that forbids painkillers and is largely ignorant of medical science.
And do you say anything different now? No. Alright, well sure, I'll eliminate Mr. House for you, why not?
Good.
I'm not gonna.
Don't know what kind of security he has inside the Lucky 38, but if you can find a way of catching him off guard, do so.
And I think that the conversation with Caesar is one of the high points of Fallout New Vegas. I think that one of Fallout 4's biggest failures is that the Institute does not have a similar conversation, where their motives are explained and all is made clear. I think a lot of people respect Caesar for that, and really respect New Vegas for that as well. Alright, here's an interesting one. I'm not sure how it's going to work, and we're at the end of a long episode. But we're accepted by the Legion. So they're going to give us the Legion stash. But for whatever reason, the guy who spawns in to give it to you gets like stuck or killed or too far away. And the place that I found that effectively spawns him is Powder Ganger Camp South. So we're going to fast travel there, and hopefully he spawns in and gives us access to the Legion supply drop. Not the safe house, by the way. And I don't see him. Oh, yes, is that him? Oh, yes, first
Though
try.
you're part of the Legion, you've aided us more than once. We acquire many items on our raids, some useless to us, some forbidden. I've provided you the location of a drop box where you can obtain these items. The box will be replenished every few days. Please be aware that we'll assume any items left in the box will be unwanted and be removed and destroyed.
For how long will I get this benefit?
Stay an ally of the Legion, and we will share our loot with you. If you start working against us or become an enemy, our deal ends.
Goodbye.
True to Kaiser.
Yes, so we got this quest now. Caesar's favor. And you know what? We're going to really wrap up this episode. We're going to make it a long episode, and we're going to wrap up all the Legion-related stuff. And the first thing that we're going to wrap up is Rex's brain. I was like, why are you shooting into the camp? And And we're going to try and do this stuff quickly. But still respect the content. This is the Legion-centric episode. So this is pretty much going to be all the Legion stuff. We're going to go to Vault 21. And then the only other time we're going to go back to the Legion is to give him the howitzer and then to kill him.
Is there something else I can do for you?
I got a new brain for Rex.
Very well. Show me what you brought so that I can analyze its potential.
I got a brain from Lupa, the mother of many Legion mongrels.
Let's take a look. Exceptional synapse responses. Descended from some type of cattle dog, I imagine. If you want me to transplant this brain into Rex, he'll become more durable.
Transplant it into Rex.
Have a seat. This will take a while.
And there we go. Rex is finally better. How you feeling, boy? You're certainly looking better. And we're gonna take all his stuff, except you can still carry. Oh, you know what? You can also still carry the roving trader outfit. And it's time for us to part ways. Yeah, go back to the king. You're all better now. I upheld my agreement with the king. And that's the best brain for Rex. The memories from his Legion days, possibly with Caesar, will meld well. Do you think that that's what Anthony meant by saying that Caesar used to have a dog like that? I actually think it is. That he they very intentionally put that detail in there, so you would know that you know, Rex is a companion to greatness. Caesar, the king. And here we go. We got another strip thing. NCR troopers.
Kiss my sweet Republic ass. Who wants to swim? Water's fine.
This is a good one. There you go. Will the Securitron come up and tell him to disperse?
Come on. Time to get lucky.
Roll up in
Oh, here he is.
Show's over. All right, girls. Show's over. Wanna dance?
It's the law, girl.
Yeah, he goes, let's go. Show's over.
Are you going to spank us? I so love handcuffs. Hello, Sparky.
All right, enough fun for tonight.
So there you go, and then they run off. Yet another strip encounter. I think the only one we have left is the Brahmin that goes around.
Goodbye.
And we'll have seen all the little fun strip interactions. But yes, delving down into Vault 21 again. I think, no, this will not be our last time because we have to have sex with Sarah. But this will be the second to last time we're in Vault 21. We keep making progress every episode. That was a little bit of a delay, but I'm actually just more happy that we were able to successfully get that interaction. I'm not sure what the random chance behind those little events are, but I usually get them all in one playthrough. And there's some.
This ain't your business. Walk off and forget you saw anything.
And the Legion is watching out for this woman. Go ahead, cross them. I dare you. Oh, here we go. We can ask, what's going on here?
Oh, murder biz.
Oh, well.
Shit. Look, we're just following orders. We, need to take this up with the boss.
Thank you. They were going to kill me.
Are you alright?
I'll be fine. Eventually.
Why were the Omertas out to kill you?
I may have overheard some things at Gamora that I passed on to the NCR. That's all. Honest.
You work with the NCR? It was the Legion who sent me to protect you.
What? I only talked to Captain Curtis over at
Oh,
McCarran.
Captain Curtis.
I would never work with slavers. Honest.
We exposed him. So you're a spy?
No. Well, not really. I mean, I'm not listening through doors or sneaking around or anything. People talk out loud, and I just pay attention. The NCR likes to keep tabs on the activities of the families, and they pay me good caps to hang around the casinos and keep my ears open.
Dangerous work.
It isn't normally. The NCR wanted me to just gamble and listen, nothing else.
And so what do you do around here?
I do odd jobs here and there, usually
Odd
helping
jobs here
Sarah
and
keep
there.
the vault tidy. I came to New Vegas to be a professional gambler. Too bad for me that the professional part isn't working out so good. But I love gambling, so I'm here to stay on the strip until they kick me out.
Alright, we'll see you, Martina.
Goodbye.
You're kind of a moron. And yeah. So we'll turn this quest in. We'll turn all our dog tags in. And we'll end this episode on the Legion safe house. That's my plan. I got a little lost here. But we're back on track. I know where we are now.
You turned around?
Nope. This fucking asshole saying I'm turned around. When I clearly was turned around, too. But yep. That's a pretty quick quest. Yeah, the Legion really doesn't have too many quests. Like, spoiler alert for the Howitzer quest. You get the Howitzer and you put it in there. But now, Caesar's Favor. A quest that I imagine not everyone completes because it's so hard to get a hold of the disguised Frumentari. If you noticed when he came up to us, he was limping, and it was a very short distance, I thought, for him to have to overcome. But yeah, it took me actually a lot of tries to figure out how to successfully get the Caesar's Favor quest, and now that knowledge has allowed me to first try execute it on the perfect playthrough. I'm very happy about that. And Caesar's Favor is quite the boon, as you will see. Legion Denaries, Legion Denarius, Legion Denarius. Quite a bit of coin. And then got some recon armor, some missiles, energy cells, 6 doctor's bags. It just has a great loot pool. So there you go, there's Caesar's Favor. And we'll keep this, because we're so close to finishing this episode, we'll do whatever we can to finish it quickly. And even fast traveling short distances.
Our way. True to Kaiser.
And I'm excited for this. We'll get all the Legion stuff done in one go. Except the Howitzer, which is so Boomers related that it's fine.
Get moving, profligate. Do not make Kaisar wait.
I already talked to him. Don't worry. I have dog tags to turn in.
How many?
30.
A good bit of hunting. Here's your payment. Was there something else?
Nope. And now we're liked by Caesar's Legion. And that is all you need to get the safe house access. And just, I guess, to point it out, even though Cursor Lucullus is gone, you can still travel to the fort. He's waiting in...
By order of Kaiser.
Yes, yes, yes.
Our way.
We know, we know, we know. There he is. There's Lucullus. He's over there. I promise you. And if we get up there fast enough... Oh, I'm so worried about the crash. You know what? Yeah. This isn't a speed run. This isn't a speed run. Let's drop the save. We don't need to worry about precious seconds. But yeah, as you can see, man, we're 53 hours into this playthrough. We still got 2 DLCs to go. We've got quite a bit of stuff to do. But we're inching ever closer to glory. Oh, that gave me another little heart attack. A good thing we won't have to go back here again. Hopefully I'll remember to save before that door. Though I say you have to save before that door, but... We did successfully get through it both times. Now let's talk to Vulpes.
Was there more for us to discuss?
Martina said she sold her information to Captain Curtis in the NCR.
I know the captain well. If you wish to be of service, go talk to him. Bear in mind that you are now responsible for guarding the secret of his true allegiance. If the NCR finds out, we'll know how that happened.
Yeah, I already killed him. I was able to convince the Omerta thugs that crossing the Legion was unwise.
Excellent. Had you simply killed them, the Omertas would have sent another group after Martina eventually. You've saved me the trouble of coming up with a more permanent solution. And Martina is free to go about her business as usual. Well done.
And tell me about the Burned Man.
Ah, yes. We are forbidden from speaking his true name.
Oh, Caesar.
He's a shaman of some kind before he met Caesar, a holy man from out of the Utah. The Burned Man proved dangerous, unpredictable, and impossible to kill. He helped Caesar form the Legion, but almost led it to destruction.
Interesting. And then you have to talk to Lucius.
You've proven yourself to be a true friend of the Legion. We have a safe house available to our agents in the Mojave. Here's the key. It's an excellent place to rest and store extra equipment. In addition, one of our veterans, Atticus, visits the house every few days. While he's there, you can acquire items useful for stealthy operations against our enemies from him.
Yes, Atticus is an infinite source of stealth boys. In addition to the infinite source of stealth boys in Old World Blues. Oh, yes, this episode was a really good one. We did a really good job here. Wow, we're already idolized at the fort. They really liked that I stole those dog tags and then lied to them about it. Caesar's kind of a moron. And here it is. Caesar's Legion safe house. Oh, and there's Atticus. Oh, wait. Oh, I wanted to talk to him. Oh, well. He doesn't really have anything that interesting to say, if we're being honest. And, you know, you got a sniper rifle, Centurion armor, chainsaw. Chainsaw's pretty cool. Dinosaur toy. And, of course... Oh, 2 time bombs. That's actually pretty useful. But, of course, the most important thing, the lucky shades. And those will be our glasses for the foreseeable future. Did we pick those up too quick? I wonder what the deal with that bug is, but yep, there's the lucky shades. Looking good. Looking good in the hood. So yeah, that's it for this episode of The Perfect Playthrough. It was a long one, but it was a good one. Lots and lots of Legion lore. We got idolized with them by just giving them some dog tags we found. I remember these glasses, so I'm going to use them to repair the lucky shades. And there we go. We got a full-on Lucky Shades. This is pretty much what we're going to be rocking the rest of the playthrough. Sweet Pimp Boy 3 Billion, Joshua Graham's armor, Lucky Shades, Boone's beret. Oh, I love it. What a great episode of the perfect playthrough. And next time we're going to start with the Boomers. So that's another exciting episode. That's another one. I think we're going to have multiple Boomer episodes. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And I hope you are too. I'll see you next time on the perfect playthrough.